So then you got all these other, interesting issues to deal with. I think that writing this book, there's an aspect to it that, it's kind of, I think it's going to be fun because I'm almost thinking that I can write this book as a survivor story type book, or an adventure, an exploration book, an early settlers book. And oh yeah, by the way, we're on spaceships going to Mars. I think there's going to be enough personal stories that we can pull out of this that the space flight is secondary. It's more like snowed in. Our entire colony has been buried under an avalanche, but we're still alive. We're cut off from the outside world, but we've got enough to make do, and we're going to dig tunnels between our houses, that kind of a thing. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So back to the mind map again. I'm going to just kind of look at this real quick. I'm just kind of breaking off some ideas here, but so I've got branches on the tree here of positions and jobs. So we're going to need some engineering people. We need some people in flight ops that are going to fly the spacecraft. Probably an EVA crew. The astronauts that go outside the spacecraft. People in food service, and I'm going to go ahead and add food growing / farmers. That are actually going to be able to grow some food, because the only way this is going to work is if we can grow food from day one. People that are going to deal with things like the life support system on the spacecraft. And then there's going to be mechanical people. There's propulsion people that are, like the engineering people on ships would be, the people that make the drive work, however we decide to do it. Electrical, electronics, communications. Right now I haven't decided what life on Earth is going to be like when we leave, but I'm kind of thinking we're going to have communications back to Earth, and so I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be like there's going to be families that leave, but they're going to have people back home, and so we're going to have some kind of internet kind of a thing, or you can send email back and forth at least, or maybe probably not. I mean, not real-time video communication because of the time lag. It just takes too long for the signal to get there, so you're not going to have a two-way conversation directly. You'd say something and you have to wait a minute for the response to come back, or you figure out the time lag, because there is a lag on that. So within that, that's gonna be my basic flight crew people, and then when we get to Mars, we're gonna have engineering, construction, more farming, probably mining operations, figure out how to live off the land. We're going to be setting up solar farms to generate electricity. I'm thinking that if we can make the space elevator work, we should be able to run a power lead from our Mars spacecraft, which will be left in orbit. Most of it will be left in orbit. We'll probably end up deorbiting parts of it that we can use for structures until we get things built down there. So maybe we would have a surface crew that wouldn't be down there permanently in the first year. Maybe you'd send a mining crew down, and they'd be down for 2 weeks, and then they come back up to the mothership, and then send another crew down. Or maybe you could automate it. It would make a lot of sense to take maybe a smaller crew and a whole lot more robots, because they don't need air. So we send down robots and have them start digging tunnels for us or something like that. So there's a lot of fun things we can play with there, and just it's sci-fi, but it doesn't have to be a huge stretch. I'm thinking maybe in the 10-15 years from now time frame, early enough that NASA hasn't gotten there yet. Or if they have, maybe they had a problem, or we just ran out of money, and so government is not involved. This is going to be personal and private, person to person kind of thing. And okay, so that's kind of the crew complement. Characters, I'm thinking worldwide. It's not going to be just Americans. Pretty diverse crew, sort of like the International Space Station. So we've got people from everywhere coming together. Trying not to make it too utopian so much. I mean, we're going to have enough diversity there that there's going to be conflict. Maybe it'll be end up, where they get there as a common crew and then they split up a little bit, so you have 3 or 4 different settlements, and then, which would be good. I think you'd have some trading between them, hopefully not any wars or conflict like that, because that just makes it difficult for everybody. But maybe a little healthy competition would be good. Plot ideas. Okay. This is kind of just what I threw down here. Why are we going in the first place, or what's going to happen when we get there? So I just threw some ideas down here just for a starting point. So the first one is life on Earth sucks, and I'm going to probably splinter off of that a little bit. But then below that was life on Earth is oppressive. So then it's like the Mayflower. Life on Earth is potentially ending, and there's a whole lot of ways we could kill off life on Earth. Life on Earth is boring, I just want an adventure, or this might be for scientific reasons, for some reason. And we can go a lot of different ways on that. I mean, there's, the obvious ones of like, we could have a plague that we realize is breaking out, and it could be a plant plague, where, something as simple as photoplankton in the ocean is dying, which then wipes out all of sea life. Which then could affect something else, and then, or, we can make up our own natural disasters. There's the good word. Let's see, what else can we do?